get started. Let's find our child's pose. So bring the big toes to touch. The knees out as wide as you like. And just start to rock that forehead from side to side. Maybe take a little sway. Taking 1 or 2 big breaths here. And then just start to tap into that rhythm of your breath. So really not trying to alter it, but just notice it. Just sort of feel the way the breath moves through the body. That breath in, that inflation of the lungs, that little puffing up from the upper back. And as you exhale, that feeling of releasing. Maybe this is the first time all morning that you have had the chance just to slow down and feel your breath. And as we're present in the rhythm of our breath, become a little more aware of the body, maybe starting at the toes. Give them a little wiggle. And then just start to scan what feels good today, what feels sore. The softness of the ground underneath you, the grass, that little extra cushion, maybe the unevenness of the floor. And maybe right now draw a little bit of gratitude for an area of the body that feels good. So a lot of times we don't draw attention to our part of a body unless it becomes sore or taken away. So right now, send a little love to somewhere that's feeling good today, that's working, that's feeling right. And then maybe sending a little love to those areas that might be tighter today, a little bit sore. And as we're present in our breath and now in our body, let's draw it in a little bit deeper even yet and just check in. And again, maybe for the first time of this day, you ask yourself, how are you feeling? What thoughts are going through your head right now? And just take a moment just to honor it, feel it. Whatever that thought may be, a random thought, a to-do list, something maybe weighing heavy on you. And take a moment just to honor that. The knowing that right now, that this hour, you've decided to show up for yourself. So just giving yourself this gift of being present right now. Present in the breath, present in the body, and each time the mind drifts, it wanders. We always reel it back in. Let's reset that breath, taking a few cleansing breaths. So take that big inhale, draw the breath in through the nose. And then that open mouth exhale to release it, let it go. One more time, big inhale, draw that breath in. At the top of that breath, try to hold. Taking in one last little sip of air, full. And then open mouth exhale all the way out, empty, hollow. We'll seal the lips at the bottom of that breath and take a big inhale. Draw the breath in through the nose. And with that same intensity, we exhale out the nose. And just starting to cultivate that Ujjayi breath, our yoga breath. And that's simply in through the nose, out through the nose, that little restriction in the back of the throat. Now find a few more rounds of these breaths here as we settle into this new rhythm. Inhales for length and exhales to relax, to sink, and to go a little bit deeper. Now try to find this little internal dance we take with this breath. So each inhale, just imagine the body stretching longer. And each exhale, The body sinking deeper, helping to release, to let go, to go further. We'll take a few more rounds of these breaths here, all on your own. Settle in. Take one more big breath in here, filling. Big breath out, releasing. Leave the forehead rooted. Just spider those hands. Come up high, lifting the elbows, lifting the forearms, and just stretch through the shoulders here a little bit. Maybe rock the forehead from side to side. Maybe press one shoulder down and then the other. Take that big breath in. And with your exhale, let's slide those hands all the way off the mat to the left. Now bring that right hand over the left hand and anchor some weight into that right sit bone. Now crawl that right hand 1/4 of an inch longer than that left hand and just breathe into that side waist, that openness you've created through the ribs, through the shoulder. Take that big breath in. Take that big breath out. With that breath in, slide those hands, stay low, up and over to that right side. Left palm over the right. Anchor weight into that left sit bone and crawl that left hand just a little bit longer to feel that sideways through the obliques just open. Take 2 more rounds of breath. One more big inhale, breathe it in. Sinking. Slow. That next breath in, we slide those hands back into center. One more round. Maybe crawl the hands a little bit longer. Maybe sink the chest down a little deeper. And maybe with the eyes sealed, you just start to slide those hands towards the knees and come to sit up onto the heels. Let's take that right hand right under the face. That left hand, twist us open. Roll that wrist. Wiggle those fingers. Maybe open and close the fist here a few times. And just feel the wrist. Feel the fingertips. Now take that big breath in. Reach up an inch. And as we exhale, we take it all the way through. We thread it. Left shoulder, left cheek down. Now the palm by the face, maybe take a moment just to press it. And then maybe sliding that arm long, making that capital L with the arms, or maybe tucking that hand to the lower back palm up. Maybe even starts to slide in between that hip bone and the thigh. Wherever you are, can you press into the hands a little bit deeper? Feel that activation of the core. And then as if you were trying to twist the navel up towards the sky and rock the back of the head into the mat, feel this rinse. Take one more big breath in here, filling. Navel in, twist just a little deeper. If you took that bind, nice and slow, we release. Palm back towards the face, anchor, press, burst back open, maybe gaze, follows those fingertips, look. And as we exhale, let's bring it down. We swap it out. Left hand grounds, right hand reaches, open. Roll that wrist. Wiggle those fingers. Press into that left hand. Reach up a little bit higher as we exhale all the way through. Thread it, right shoulder, right cheek down. That left palm goes where it feels good on this side. Notice any difference compared to the opposite. Maybe this side's a little tighter. The breath feels a little tighter here. Maybe this side feels a little looser. You're able to go deeper into that breath. And just honor this side of the body for where it's at. Taking 2 more rounds of breath here on your own. Let your breath be the loudest noise in your mind. Last one. See if you could pull that navel in with that exhale. Make that little bit of space and rinse into that space. Twist just a little deeper. That palm back towards the face. Anchor. Press as we burst back open, reaching high, maybe gaze. Follows that right hand all the way up. And as we exhale, let's bring it down. Let's walk our palms forward as we press up into our first table. Now maybe tap the tops of the feet into the mat a few times. Just feel them. Maybe tuck the toes under. As you start to rock up and down, side to side, just feel out the wrist a little bit more here. Spreading the fingers a little bit wider. And then just start to take a little bit of movement. Feel that lower back, some little circles, some little figure eights in that tailbone. Feel that lower back, and then slowly, gradually grow up the spine. Start to feel through the side waist a little bit more, through the ribs, through the wing bones. Feel the shoulders, the front of the chest, maybe dipping one shoulder down and dipping the other. And lastly, that shake of the head, yes. That shake of the head, no. Now that whole spine is in motion. Feel it. From that tailbone all the way up towards that neck. Notice where that tightness is. And if you could pinpoint that tightness, just being able to move it around here a little, helping to release it, helping to let it go. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Eyes are sealed, so you're moving freely. You're not worrying about how anyone else is moving or what they're thinking, but you're just movement. Whatever feels right to you. 1 more breath. As we come back into that table, stacked and strong here, we'll take a few full cat counts. That tailbone's gonna lead us. So tailbone lifts first, belly hammocks down, and then lift the chin so it's parallel to the mat as if you were trying to pull open the collarbones. And then that tailbone swooped us under, navel to spine, push the mat away and tuck that chin. Tailbone leads us as it lifts, belly hammocks down, lift the chin. Tailbone tucks under, navel to spine and press, tuck that chin. Now start to take this here all on your own. Move with your own rhythm of your breath. And maybe adding on some of those other movements that felt good. Go deeper. That sway in the hips, that shake of the head. Exaggerate the movements a little bit further. Get the blood flowing. Get some tension out of the spine. Feel the hips. Taking 1 more round of breath here. Really press that final cat. Send that spine as high as you can. And then we find our table here nice and stacked. We're gonna curl our toes under and slide those hands towards our knees as we press knees into chest. Tuck the chin as if you were trying to bring your forehead to your knees, and feel that compression of the front of the throat. Feel that length in the back of the neck. We're pressing into that thyroid. Sink the heels a little bit lower. Maybe get that whole foot down. Arms can stay extended here, or maybe you grab for opposite elbow, making yourself into this tiny little ball. Feel the weight in the feet. Feel each toe pressing into the mat, maybe the heel. Squeeze yourself in a little tighter. Take 1 more breath. Let's plant those palms. Nice and slow here. We're gonna start to straighten out those legs. Lifting the hips. Toe heel the feet out about hip distance. 2 fists in between the heels. And then bend the knees so the abdomen can rest on the thighs. And then as if you were trying to bring your head in between your knees, let the head dangle here. Give the head a nice shake. We're using that head as an anchor. Maybe find that gentle sway side to side. Feel the weight in the feet. Rock it to the toes and then into the heels. Maybe lift all 10 toes off the mat, spread them, and then 1 by 1, let those toes come back down. Big breaths here. 1 more breath, breathe it in. Pull that navel in, make that little bit of space, feel it, and then slide into that space, folding deeper. Then release those hands to the mat. Bring the hands to the shins here and halfway lift, active press. Now as if I was pulling your head towards the top of the mat, tuck the tailbone under a little and then push active hands into the shins to grow the spine a little bit longer. And then as if your head was that anchor, let it fall all the way back down. Plant the hands a little bit forward on the mat, spider them here, and then find that same halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine, stretch the head towards the top of the mat, and see if you could tuck the tailbone under, activating the lower belly. And then exhale, that head is heavy, let it fall. Now one more time, this time we're gonna bring those hands to heart center, press the thumb into the chest and find that halfway lift. Tuck the tailbone, and then stretch the crown of the head forward. And then exhale, dive it all the way down and fold. Now plant those palms, toe, heel, big toes touch. Little sliver of light in between the heels, and we're gonna stack as we rise. Close the eyes. I want you to feel each vertebrae stack up on each other. The gaze will be the last thing to rise, but take your time. When you get to the top, take a shoulder shrug. Shoulders up to the ears. Open up those palms, fingertips point straight down. Let's take it again. Inhale, roll those shoulders high, big breath in. Exhale, let those fingertips as if they were reaching towards the grass. Open up the hands, tuck the tailbone, and feel some buoyancy in the legs so we're not locking out the knees. Let's circle those arms here. Inhale, sweep those hands all the way up, reach for it. Exhale all the way down, those hands through that heart center. Close the eyes if they're not sealed already. Now take that 2 more times, your breath. Mindful movement. Move as fast or as slow as that breath takes you. One more. And we'll all meet those hands at heart. Feel that tailbone tuck. As we inhale, we're gonna all watch those hands lift. Maybe lift the chin, gaze in between the palms as they separate, and then we'll drop that left hand down. Reaching up and over, breathe into that side waist. Find that buoyancy in the legs. Now swoop the tailbone under as much as you can. Really feel the glutes activate, and then bump that right hip out a little, and then reach. Now that hand can stay dangling. You could tuck it to the lower back, help keeping that tailbone tucked, or you can take it to the lower belly, help reminding yourself to engage there. Listen to your body, where does it need it? Relax the shoulders, down the back, feel a little sink. Take that breath in, breathe through that side waist. And as you exhale, maybe sink a little bit deeper. Nice and slow, we'll all meet, hands back up overhead. Reset, relax the shoulders, down the back, that right palm drops. Reach up and over. Tuck the tailbone, buoyancy in the legs, hands to the lower back, to the lower belly. Bump that left hip out and reach. 2 full rounds of breath here on your own. Now let the neck be soft, whether the gaze is forward, maybe looking up past that elbow, or looking down towards the right heel. Take 1 more big breath in. Can you sink just a little deeper? Reach. Nice and slow, we meet, hands back up, palms connect. Exhale, all the way down, fold, head is heavy. Keep the hands together as we halfway lift here. We're gonna bring those hands back to that heart center. Now keep that tuck in the tailbone. Stretch that neck long, and then exhale, fold, keeping the integrity of the body. Plant the palms, nice and slow, we walk them. Palm print by palm print until you find your first top of that push-up plank. Now palms are shoulder distance, feet are hip distance, heels over the toes, shoulders over the wrist, and then spread the fingers a little bit wider and push that mat away. Now swoop the tailbone under as much as you can, and then lift the navel to the spine. You're constantly checking in with the body. Where can you lengthen? Where can you press? Focusing there, focusing on the breath, taking 1 more full round of breath here, breathe it in. And as we exhale, we press into our first down dog, feel that release, and then take some movement. First one here, so pedal it out. Bend through the left, bend through the right. Come up high on the toes, And then see if you could drop the heels and again, lift all 10 toes, peel them up, maybe spread those toes nice and wide. And then one by one, let those toes come back down. Relax the face here, let it soften. No tension in the face. Press into the mat. See if you could grow a little longer in the spine from that push in the hands. Taking one more full round of breath here, breathe it in. Look towards the top of the mat, nice and slow, as if you are pedaling those hips, tiptoe. Press into the hands. And we meet at the top of the mat for the first time in our halfway. Now hands to the shins, or maybe you find those hands at that heart center again. Keep that integrity, tailbone tucked, crown head pushing forward. Exhale, we dive it down, fold. Head is all the way heavy, keep it loose. Now let's tee out those arms. We sweep it and breathe it all the way up. Palms connect overhead. Exhale, drag it down, those hands through heart. Now inhale, those hands lift, maybe gaze up in between the palms as they separate. As we exhale, sink into our chair. Now maybe reset the arms by scraping the mat and then extend those arms. Now we're gonna work from the mat up. So weight is in the heels, toes are light, give them a little wiggle. And then we're gonna swoop that tailbone under as much as you can and then gaze down. See if you could see the tips of all your toes. If you can't, sit the hips back a little deeper. Now arms are an extension of the spine. So if this doesn't feel good in the shoulders, take them out in front of you. Release some of that tension in the shoulders if you had it, and then sink a little deeper, swoop it under. Let your breath guide you here. Notice, where can you lengthen? Where can you sink? Let your breath soothe you, knowing each exhale is a little release. Take 2 more breaths here, breathe it in. Squeeze those legs, tuck the tailbone, sink a little deeper. 1 more breath here. 1 more exhale, straight legs as our release, all the way up, reach and exhale all the way down. Palms connect, waterfall over the legs, plant those palms, step it back, find our plank. Now we can drop to the knees, or you can stay lifted as we flow here. So we're gonna rock forward onto those toes. Now elbows into ribs as we lower. Now tops of the feet to the mat and find your up dog. So the shins are lifted, we're pressing strong into the tops of the feet, and we're gonna drop the right hip down and look over that left shoulder. Back into that center, lift, and then drop that left hip, look over the right. And then come back into center. We let the knees come down now as we sit the hips back. Flip the palms to face up and let that forehead come down. Take that big breath in here, filling. Take that big breath out, releasing. Reconnect. Notice where the mind has started to wander to. Now we're gonna flow that 2 times. Just moving with our breath a little, getting our body, our blood flowing. Take that big breath in here, filling. That big breath out, releasing. As we start to slide those hands towards the knees, let's curl our toes under, knees into chest, press. Walk those hands back towards the feet as we straighten the legs. Now find that halfway lift here, maybe those hands through heart center, tuck the tailbone. Exhale, head is heavy, fold, dive it down. Toe heel, big toes touch, tee out the arms. We sweep it, breathe it all the way up. Exhale all the way down, hands through heart. Let's circle those hands 1 more time, drop them. Inhale all the way up, breathe. Exhale all the way down, hands through heart. And then inhale, those hands lift, they separate. Let's drop the left hand, reach up and over. Just 1 round of breath, hand to the lower back, to the belly, your choice. Sink a little deeper with that exhale, reach. Inhale, both hands up, relax the shoulders. Right hand drops, reach up and over. Take that breath. Take your exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale, back up, palms connect, straight down as we dive. Fold, Plant the palms. Walk them. Find your top of a push-up, your plank. We still hold. Finding that strength in our stillness. Tuck the tailbone. Navel to spine. Try not to lock out the elbows, but keeping that buoyancy in the arms, just like we do in our legs. Lengthen through the spine. Take one more. Bottom of that breath, that's when we press. Find that release from your down dog. Take that big breath in. Look towards the top of the mat. This time, high on the toes. Bend the knees and press yourself forward. That big step. Meeting at the top of the mat, that halfway lift. And exhale, dive it down. Fold. Tee out those arms. We sweep it. Biggest breath. All the way up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, those hands lift. They separate. Exhale, sink back into that chair. Maybe reset the arms. Scrape the mat. Tuck the tailbone. Still breathing here. Now keep the hips and the knees pointed forward. We're going to find a twist here. So that left hand is going to lead us to start. Nice and slow, we drop it down and reach. Send the hips back. Try to keep the hips and the knees pointed forward and then rinse out that spine. Drop the left shoulder away from the ear. Take one more breath. Sink a little deeper. Nice and slow back into that center. Smooth. Right hand leads us. Reach it back. Now open up the palms, really open here. As if you had baseball gloves on and someone was gonna throw a fastball right into the hands. So those muscles in the arms are active and strong. Take one more breath. Can you sink into the heels a little deeper? Nice and slow, back into that center. Straight legs as our release. All the way up, palms connect. Exhale all the way down and fold. Plant those palms. Step it back. Higher on your knees. We flow. Rock forward. Elbows into ribs. Inhale that up dog. Take that breath, a little twist. Right hip drops. Look over the left. Back into that center. Left hip drops. Look over the right. Finding that center. Breath in. Drop the knees. Send the hips back. Forehead to the mat. Flip the palms. And maybe give those fingertips a little wiggle. Take that big breath in, filling. That big breath out, releasing. Feel the heartbeat. The points of connection against the mat underneath you. Reset. As we take it one more time, breath to movement. Moving with our inhales. Moving with our exhales. Finding that dance. So if your breath is a little faster than mine or a little slower than mine, I want you to try to stay as tapped in to your breath as you can. Take one more breath here. With your next breath in, we slide those hands towards the knees. Curl those toes under, press the knees into the chest. Walk those hands towards the feet. We've been here, straighten the legs. Our inhale is our halfway lift. And our exhale is our fold, toe, heel, big toes touch. Sweep it, breathe it all the way up. Big breath. Exhale all the way down, hands through heart. Inhale, those hands lift, let them separate. And our exhales are side stretch over to that right side. Left side rather. Inhale, breathe it up. Exhale over to the right now. Inhale to center. Exhale over to that left. We're moving with our breath. Inhale up. Exhale over to the right. Now 2 more times each way. I want you to close your eyes here and move with your breath. So when we reach, is that exhale. When we come up to center, is that breath in. Feel that side waist. Feel the obliques here. Strong tailbones tucked. Buoyancy in the legs. I want you to finish on that opposite side. Whichever side you started on. Come back to that center. We meet. Our palms connect. And our exhale will fold us all the way down. Those palms touch the mat as we walk them forward. Palm print by palm print. Find your plank. Tuck the tailbone. Take that big breath in. Our down dog lifts. Look towards the top of the mat. High on those toes. Bend the knees. And press yourself forward. Big step. Halfway lift when you get there. Fold. We tee it. Sweep it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, those hands lift. They separate. Sit back in that chair with that exhale. Maybe scrape the mat. Take that big breath in. That left palm is going to lead us with that twist. Take that breath in. Open the chest. Our exhale back into center. Right palm leads us. Twist. Back into that center. Tuck the tailbone. Sit the hips back. Left palm leads us. Breath in. Back into that center. Right palm strong. Bring it back. Now just one more time. Your breath. Stay low. Keep that integrity in the legs. Tailbone tucks. We finish on that opposite side. We meet back in center. That straight legs is your release all the way up. Palms connect. Exhale. Dive it and fold. Plant those palms. Step it back. Find your plank. Take that breath. Now this time we're going to lower all the way down. Elbows into ribs as you take it. Now tops of the feet to the mat. Bring the forehead down and let's tee out those arms nice and wide. Take a moment here, maybe give the hips a little shimmy, just side to side, feeling the weight into the mat. And then we'll lift that left leg. Left palm pulls in. As we press, we rock to the right side of the body. Right temple to the mat as you bend that knee and find the floor behind you. Now you have 4 rounds of breath here. That arm can stay by the face. You can tuck it to the lower back. Feel this deeper twist. Feel this deeper compression on that shoulder. Take one more breath. If that palm is tucked to the lower back, nice and slow, bring it back towards the face. Nice and slow, swing that left leg back in line with the right. Tee out the arms and give the legs a little shake here. Now pull the palms in just to press. Peel the chest up and then exhale, bring it back down. Just to distribute that weight back even. Tee out those arms. Let's take it to the right side. Right leg lifts. Pull that right palm in. Press left side of the body. Left temple to the mat. Bend that knee. Find the floor behind you. And again, that right palm goes where it feels good on this side. 4 full rounds of breath on your own. And notice when we find a little stillness and a little quiet, where does the mind go? See if you can stay connected to that rhythm, that dance, your breath. Big inhale, breathe it in. Can you sink just a little deeper? And then gently, if you're in that bind, bring that palm back towards the face as we swing that right leg back in line with the left. This time, let's pull both palms under the shoulders. As we press, we'll come to the knees. Keep the knees close as you sit the hips back and walk those palms back. Palms up, bring the forehead down. And let the shoulders roll away from the spine. Now you can hold here just this restorative sort of seashell pose, or you can take it into your puppy by extending those arms long out in front of you, bringing the hips over the knees, leaving the forearms lifted. You can bring either the chin or the forehead to the mat. And just notice what's going to feel better for you today. Do you need that extra relaxing break, or do you need a little bit more in the spine? 2 more rounds. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. 1 more. Wherever you are, we'll slowly start to come to sit up onto the heels. And we're gonna swing our legs to one side or the other. We're gonna bring our feet out in front of us. Now we're gonna make our way into our full pigeon. So if you know full pigeon isn't for you and you'd wanna find that figure 4 on your back, you can take that. So we're gonna start with the right leg, parallel to the front of the mat. And then that left ankle is gonna come right on top of the knee, and that knee is gonna sort of hover over that ankle. Now my hips are really tight this morning, so I have a big distance between my knee and my ankle, but if your hips are a little bit looser, it might be a little bit closer. Now if this, again, too much for you, you can find it on your back in that figure 4, and I can take you there. But if you want to try this, just close the eyes, drop the hands. We circle, breathe it all the way up. Big connection. Exhale, bring it down, those hands through heart. Now you can hold hands at prayer, or you can drop the hands, palms up, palms down, your choice. 1 on the ankle, 1 on the knee. We close our eyes. We have 4 full rounds of breath. Try to relax the hips, the sit bones into the mat as much as you can. Now drop the jaw, the cheekbones, and around the eyes. And see if you could release 1 little drop of tension from in between the brow. All the way up to the highest point of yourself, that crown of the head. Feel it lengthen. And then as if you could draw a straight line from that crown, down the neck, down the spine, all the way to the base of it, the tailbone. Take 1 more breath. Then nice and slow, we drop those hands. We circle again here, breathe it all the way up. And then we're gonna take that left hand to the lower back. Use it to prop you up, sit you up tall. And then we're gonna cross that right arm over the chest and then make connection forearm to knee as you press and gaze over that left shoulder. Now maybe feeling this a little deeper in that left sit bone, going through the IT band, that outer edge of that thigh. Take that big breath in. Twisting just a little deeper. 1 more breath. And then nice and slow, just crawl it into center, that little counter stretch. Look over to the opposite side, plant the palm. Maybe a little bow towards that side. And then back into center. We're gonna release this in a moment, but we're just gonna start to crawl those arms long towards the top of the mat. Try to tuck the chin and then press into all 10 fingers and try to push the fingers into the mat so the tailbone almost wants to tuck. Relax the toes. Take that breath. One more full inhale, breathe it in. Can you melt down just a little deeper? Find that wall, that one point where you're holding, and see if that exhale can take you a little bit past it. And then gently crawl yourself up. Take your hands behind you, fingertips pointed towards the body, and then release those legs. You can windshield wiper here. You can extend them long, give them a little bounce. Whatever's gonna release more for you. And then we're gonna take it to that opposite side. So that left leg is gonna go on the bottom, or if you did the left leg on the other side, that right leg. So cross it over, ankle over knee, knee over ankle. Find that spot. Sit up nice and tall, close the eyes, and when you're ready, drop the hands. We circle, big breath in, filling. Exhale those hands through heart. And again, you can hold right here, or drop the hands, palms up, palms down, your choice. Knee, ankle. Relax the shoulders and breathe. Nice and slow, drop those hands. We circle here, big breath in, filling. And then that right hand to the lower back. Left palm's gonna cross over, forearm to knee as we press. Sit up tall. And then maybe turning the gaze over that right shoulder if it feels good, twisting it out.
India.
One more breath. Maybe twisting just a little deeper. And then that counter, slowly crawl the hands over to that opposite side. Drop the head, a little bow towards the side. And then bring it back into center. Sitting up nice and tall, take that breath, walk those hands forward. Tuck the tailbone, push into those fingertips. 4 rounds of breath here. Find that wall. See if you can slide past it with your breath. Let's take 2 more. Big breath in, lengthen. Pull that navel in, make that space. Can you sink into that space? These little micro movements, going deeper into the muscles. Take 1 more. Fold just a little deeper, let go. And then that release, walk it forward. Hands behind you, uncross the legs. Give that little sway side to side. Rock it out. And when you're ready, let the feet come alongside you, and we're just gonna open up the legs like a book. Bring the hands onto the ankles, and we're gonna take a few seated cat-cows here. So take a big breath in, open up through the chest, and as we exhale, elbows into knees as we fold. Now we're gonna take that with our breath. So our inhale ripples the spine up, lift the chin. And as we exhale, we melt it down. Elbows press into the knees, bow the head. Now just 1 more time before we hold, take that breath in, lift. And our breath out to fold. Now here we pause. Release the weight of the head. Take that big breath in. Press those knees, maybe sink just a little deeper. And then press up. Let's bring our palms facing up onto the ankles. We'll take a breath in as we slide those hands towards the top of the mat. And then exhale, bow the head. Now you can hold here, sort of letting gravity take its pull. Or you can slide the hands behind the pinky sides of the feet and use that little basket to pull you in. If you want to take it deeper yet, slide the hands underneath the ankles. Basket the pinky sides of the foot. And then use that to lengthen and use that to dive you down. 3 rounds of breath here. That dance, inhale, stretch the spine. That exhale pulls you forward. Just 1 more breath. And then slowly release. Bring those hands to the outside of the knees and just close those legs like a book. Let's extend those arms long, nice and slow. We make our way to our backs. Inch by inch, take it down. Feel that little tuck of the chin. And then when you get to the back, draw the knees into the chest and find your rock. Side to side, roll it out. Give that lower back some love. And when you're ready, let's bring those knees into center and tee up those arms nice and wide. Now nice and slow, just let those knees drop over to the left. Take a moment to lift the chin so you're stretching the neck nice and long, and if it feels good, to turn the gaze and look over those right fingers in opposition. Now try to keep both shoulders down. more breath. If that gaze is turned to the right, draw that chin back into center, and then bring those knees into the chest and take that rock. Sort of reset the spine. And whenever you're ready, we'll let the knees drop over to the right. Lift the chin. And if it feels good to turn and look over those left fingers. Take one more breath. Bring the chin back up. Draw the legs back into center. Bring those hands to the knees. And let's take those circles. Now I invite you, maybe keeping the eyes sealed for the remainder of class now. As we start to lift our feet towards the sky, reaching for behind the knees, to the calves or the pinky sides of the feet, and find your happy baby. Now, just like we did in that table, it's just movement. Whatever movement's gonna feel better for you, extend one leg long, extend the other, maybe both legs extend. Maybe those soles of the feet touch, making that diamond with the legs again. Just move. One more breath. As we release the legs, just lift them up towards the sky. Hands can just drop alongside you. Now, whether you find some movement or you find stillness here is your choice. You can point and flex the feet. You can wiggle those toes out. But we're all getting that big flush. This is one of my favorite poses. Showing our heart a little bit of love here by drawing all that blood flow down into our core. Now hands can rest alongside you. Maybe you place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, taking that big connection to the breath and to the heart. Take 3 more rounds of breath. And then we'll unite here with a big cleansing breath. So take that big inhale, draw the breath in through the nose. And then that open mouth, exhale to release it. Let it go. Let the feet come to the mat. And then slide them long. That final relaxation, that let go. Now take up as much space here as you need to. Let the toes fall out, the heels in, palms up, palms down, your choice. Completely surrender, letting go of the breath now. So the breath is again just breathing for you. can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. But if and when you're ready, waking your body just with a breath here. Breathe it in. Let it go. And just slowly start to bring some movement back in the body. Wiggle the fingers. And let it trickle down towards the toes. Rolling the wrist. Pointing the toes. And if and when you're ready, stretch those arms overhead like a great big good morning stretch. And then bringing the knees into the chest. Now you could just rock over to your favorite side, or maybe take a few little rocks here with the knee into the chest. Just sort of waking the body back up. Gently start to press up to any comfortable seat that looks right to you. Now wherever those hands go, whether they're resting on the lap, whether they're at heart center or prayer, that's your choice. But sit up proud here, tall, a little stronger, a little longer. Breath one last time here, sealing this practice. So take that big inhale, draw the breath in through the nose, and that exhale to release it out. I'm truly honored and grateful for you allowing me to be here, guiding you through this practice we take together. I bow forward towards you all. Namaste. So lucky. Look at this. Like, what is this? Who are we? Who are we right now? Like, we're just at the park, doing yoga. Like, it's all like the sky's all blue. Like, we could be in a movie or something. Like,
we are in a movie.
The movie called like
The scarabs and the hummingbirds.
Seriously.
Major earthing.
It was a little bee.
So great. Like, I was just like looking around like, what the heck? This gets to be our life? We're just here? We're lucky.
It was nice in Shavasana because the sun just started creeping over, so it was warming up my toes. It was really nice.
So good.
Katie, that was awesome. So relaxing.
Hi, hon.